Hello, my name's Holly. I thought I would do this video today. Not a good day for me to be doing it, but I thought I would do it anyway. I was diagnosed with endometrial cancer, metastatic endometrial cancer, about a year ago. And I just wanted to tell my story. It's been a very confusing time. I've been through all of my chemo. I had surgery. They think they got all of the cancer, but now I'm in this strange place of, not knowing what my care plan is for the next however many months or years that I have. This has just not been a good day for me. I've been doing so well for so long, and I think sometimes you just forget that you're terminal, and then you have days where it all comes rushing back to you. I have a counselor, an oncology counselor. I have an advanced cancer group that I go to that's been very helpful, but sometimes I think you just feel like you need to talk about it. I'm very fortunate that I have a supportive family and a husband, and I know everyone loves me, and I've had so many people reach out in my community and where I used to work, and I feel so fortunate, but sometimes you really just, feel like you're alone. Because people don't really understand unless they've gone through this. So again, that's where my advanced cancer group has helped out. But I guess the reason I wanted to make this was to talk about it for myself, but I also wanted to be able to tell other people, which is something I'm only learning now about self-care and taking care of yourself, listening to yourself when you think you're not well. Because I've been sick for a while, very tired, and that was one of my first symptoms. I thought it was depression because I've always struggled, and I went to the doctor and they just thought it was, perimenopause, but come to find out I have all of the risk factors for endometrial cancer, which I had no idea about before. It's, starting an early period, not going through childbirth, which I've never had children, being overweight. I hadn't gone through menopause, and I was 58 at the time this was diagnosed. So there, a lot of things that I didn't realize were risk factors and that were. So I think if I had known that, I would have been paying a bit more attention. So this is just a caveat for other people that, and I definitely was the type of person that would stick my head in the sand as far as my health went. I always just thought it would go away, or, and in the end for me, it ended up being extreme pain in my pelvic region that brought me back to the doctor. And it was quite a journey from there. It took me a while to get pain meds, and then to subsequently get an ultrasound and then a biopsy, and it was a very tough journey. And so the only way that I've managed to get through this, for the most part, is just telling myself that I'm taking this one event at a time, one biopsy, one chemo treatment, one doctor's appointment, and I face whatever that is, and then I keep moving on to the next thing. But now that I'm at the end of, my treatments, and I'm still uncertain as to whether I'm going to get more treatment or whether I'm just waiting to see if it comes back, which is a really hard place to be in, because I feel like I don't have a mission. I'm just supposed to wait until it comes back, or, they do a blood test, and my CA-125 numbers that I had taken for, which is a blood test to see, tumor markers in your blood, and mine went from, I think, 300 and something down to 17. So those were good numbers, and I was excited about that, but I guess that doesn't always mean something, because I'm still, like I said, uncertain of where it goes from here. But again, I wanted to do this to help myself, to talk about it, but to also warn other people, or to educate other people about what this means and what you can do to protect yourself. And I just wish that I'd learned better self-care before. I wish that I had, listened to myself and spoke up when I needed to, because I've never done that. I've never, asked questions, and I never doubted, doctors. And so I just wish I had been better at that, and better prepared, and more knowledgeable about my body. But again, I just really wanted to put this out here, because I know that when I looked for videos about endometrial cancer and metastatic terminal cancer, there isn't a lot out there, and it's actually increasingly become, if it's not the #1 gynecological cancer, it's close, or it's there with ovarian cancer, as far as I know. And I think, there's just so much research that needs to be done, and a lot of other cancers as well, but this is just one that I had never heard about it before, really, and didn't know enough about it. So I'm hoping that someone sees this video and, thinks about a pain they're in, or, something that's not right with your body, that you go and get it checked out. I wish I'd paid attention more. So, I just hope this saves somebody else. I hope this, my tumors, it's an advanced stage, and so you are so much better off if they catch it at a, stage 1 or 2 and not a stage 4. So, checking early on when you have problems, or if you're bleeding excessively or have pains or whatever it is, it's always best just to get it checked out. But I guess that's it for now, and thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, you can let me know in the comments. Thank you. Bye.